it is on the computer.
Thank
This
you.
is Mansi Davia. I am Vivek Manturi. As you have been knowing me for my small contribution in numerology, NLP, hypnosis, past life regression, and many other things. But then today we have some expert who knows about something which is beyond the normal thoughts. So she is Mansi and we will be discussing about Akashic Records. जो हमेशा एक क्वेश्चन होता है कि व्हाट इज आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड। आकाश तो बचपन से देखा हुआ है, ऊपर आकाश है, उसमें कौन से रिकॉर्ड्स होते हैं। हमें तो आसमान में से बचपन से सिर्फ बादल, काले बादल, नीले बादल, सारे बादल ही दिखते हैं, तो रिकॉर्ड्स आए कहाँ से। तो आज ये जो रिकॉर्ड्स हैं ये कैसे एंड कहाँ से एक्सेस होते हैं ये हमें बताएंगी मानसी धारिया। So with this, we give a warm welcome to Mansi. Mansi, welcome. So please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Vivek, and thank you for your kind words. So as Vivek said, I'm Mansi, and by education, I'm an IT I'm from an IT profession, but I started my journey with spirituality with numerology in 2009, where I was looking for life answers. There were certain events that were happening in my life that were not making sense. So as I was looking for answers, and as I learned one modality, like I learned tarot, then I got connected to angels, and I learned runes, and I got deeper and deeper answers, but not the ultimate, not a soul satisfying answer. Let's put it that way. Or neither were my patterns, though they were becoming milder and less exhausting to work with, but it was only when I learned Akashic Records that I got my answers. I understood why I am, where I am, the way I am, why am I on this path, why did I choose to look answers in the spiritual realm, and a lot of things suddenly started making sense. And that is when I was always resisting teaching anything till then. But that's when I really, when I started doing more and more readings and accepted that, yes, spirituality is one of the things as part of my soul journey. So that's when I decided to also start teaching it. And that's how I am on this path and still a work in progress.
So what is spirituality according to you?
Spirituality is a way of life. How conscious we are of our thoughts, our actions, our intentions, aligned to our thoughts and actions. It's just a way of life. It is not something that you learn, you practice for 8 hours, and then you go back to your normal ways. No. It's how you mold yourself, and everybody's path is different. So everybody's got to mold themselves differently. One man's poison is another man's food. It is almost like that at times.
So do you think or do you believe, what is your opinion about the person who is staying in the family regularly, doing all the chores and giving 100% to his family? Is it not a type of alignment with spirituality where he is completely committed for well-being of his family and well-being of the society? How different is it from spirituality, or you can name it as a part of spirit? Because for me, it is a spirituality. When someone is completely aligned towards family, he is completely looking towards it. And if he is able to achieve his goals, does spirituality means that one has to go into Himalayas and sit comfortably in the ice pack, or staying in the house daily, performing the duties, and still attaining that self-worth is spirituality? What is that according to you?
Neither of the paths are wrong. It is about being aligned to your soul path. If your soul path says that your first duty is towards finding your spiritual goal, sitting in an ice pack in Himalaya, then if you are struggling at home trying to make ends meet, it's you're not helping yourself. But if your soul path is aligned to actually, if your soul path says that you got to help your family, serve the society, stay in the society and help people, hold their hands, bring them together, and if you are working on that path, then that is spirituality. Everybody's path is different because you have to be aligned to your soul's journey. And whatever is your soul's journey, there is no right or wrong to it. It's what you've chosen to accomplish in this lifetime with certain roles in your life, and that's what you got to walk.
Great. So we both are almost on the same page that whatever you do, do with wholeheartedly, so that things because there must be many questions from our users also which will be taking down the line. But now when you say Akashic records, बचपन से मैंने तो आकाश सिर्फ देखा है नीले रंग के बादल, काले रंग के बादल एंड सारे बादल. तो अब ये रिकॉर्ड्स कहाँ से आ गए? What are these Akashic records and what is it all about? Because I only know one record. That is the record which is maintained by government and the other record which is maintained by my bank. तो ये Akashic records कहाँ से आते हैं? What are they?
Okay, so see, Akashic Records is basically an energetic collection of all our past life karma. Every action, thought, word, intention that a soul has ever spoken or thought about, or an action that the soul has taken, is recorded in the Akashic Records. Okay, and when I, as I was telling you, that our soul journey, we decide our soul journey by looking at all the unfinished karma that is there in the Akashic Records. We decide according to that. So if a person has decided that I'm going to go in search of spirituality by renouncing the world, because that is what he saw in his records and he wanted to complete in this lifetime, and somebody like me has come with family, with the enjoyment of all of that earth has to give, and still walking this path, because that is what I chose this in this lifetime to get aligned to. So in one single line, Akashic Records is just a collection of all our karma. But it is way beyond that. It's a world out there which is very different, and it is different experience for every single person. It is exactly your soul's mirror. It mirrors who you are at soul level.
Okay. So then I have a question. Where are these records stored? Are they around us regularly? Because what I believe is when I am into this physical body, also my astral plane is continuously around me. A second form of mind is always in existence, just besides me. And that will replicate, or either I will replicate that, or that will try to get the information from me. Or if I am attuned at that higher consciousness, I can get the information from that higher self which is around me. So yeah, this Akashic records, this book of records, where exactly is it stored? Is it around me, or is it somewhere where it is? And how does it mean? Like when we say records, so ये होता कहाँ पर है?
See, it is basically Akashic comes from the Sanskrit word which means ether, space, or nothingness. Okay, so it is there are many portals in the universe where a lot of information is stored. So Akashic Records is just like one of those portals where information is stored in energy form. So what we do is we just get attuned, like how Reiki is also one of the portals where healing information is stored, healing energy is stored. So we just get attuned to that energy. We start attuning and bring our consciousness and our vibrations to that energy, so that Reiki can flow through us and we can heal someone. Similarly, when we get attuned to Akashic Records, we start vibrating. We align our consciousness to that vibration so that that information can flow to us. We are not going anywhere. It's not a trance, it's not a meditation, it is nothing. It is just aligning our consciousness to that energy.
So when we say Akashic Records, how exactly is it different from the records which we maintain in our daily life? Like in our daily life, we maintain the records कि आज मैंने इतना खर्चा किया, इतना ये किया, वो किया. I'm spending so much. So how are these records? Like what exactly is recorded there, and what exactly when we suppose if when a person gets birth, he takes a birth, what lineage does the person carry from that Akashic? Like suppose when I was born on 22nd Jan 74, what was the lineage which I have carried from Akashic? Like, what exactly does Akashic tell about?
Okay. So Akashic, as I told you, has all your information since the first incarnation, or since you were first conceived as a soul.
Okay.
Okay. So when we access the records, right? We have access to every single information about us.
Okay.
Okay. We have access to every single information about us. The actions that we have taken, the repercussions of that action, what all happened because I took an action. So, like I tell in my classes, Akashic Records is our own personal CCTV camera. Everything we do is getting recorded there. Even this call is getting recorded there. If I am, through this call, if somebody is getting impacted positively, then yes, it is going into my positive account of karma. If somebody is getting impacted negatively, it is going into the negative column of my karma. And if it is, if a person is neutral, it's not made any difference to that person, it is nothing. Then it's not impacting me in any way, right?
So
it is like everything, every word, every thought, everything we read, we study, we watch, every single thing is recorded. And what is happening due to that action, like if I'm reading something, am I feeling happy, am I feeling sad? If I am watching something and it's news on, let's say, the war in Ukraine, and I'm feeling very horrible about it, even that is getting recorded. If I'm watching a comedy show and I'm feeling happy about it, even that is getting recorded. Everything. And then the repercussions, the outcome of watching that or reading that or taking that action or thinking that thought is also getting recorded.
Okay. So now then I have a question, that suppose if someone does some wrong deed in this life, so it is being recorded as a part of his karmic account in somewhere in the universe as per Akashic Records. So in next life, when the person takes a birth, does this life or the karmas in this life directly affect the person when he or she takes a rebirth? Or is it that the old reincarnation from the day one is only affecting? Do our present life karma make an impact on the Akashic records in positive as well
Yes.
as negative way? For example, if someone has done some wrong karma in say past previous lives, but in this life, if he or she chooses to be more selfless, to do best of best deeds, will it help a person to cancel the old karmic records and help to build a better future, or either in this life or in the next life? Because I personally believe in reincarnation, and you being an Akashic record expert, you also believe in reincarnation. So if I'm working on the present life karma and making it better, can I improve my present life? Suppose if someone is going through, say, financial problems, healthy problems, relationship issues, I'm sure that it is directly connected to your past life most of the times. So if I
Yes.
start working on my karma, will it help me to erase those Akashic records which are actually creating an impact? Question to you.
Yes. So as I said, no, you can think about your Akashic records as your CCTV camera. So every action or every intention that I am working on is being recorded. So all the time, it is not, see, when what we do, we earn money all through the year and we only balance it out at the end of the financial year and pay the tax, right? Here it is not like that. Everything is continuously getting balanced. So if I am doing a good deed, okay, they are looking at my past actions, and if that good deed is balancing out a negative deed in my past life, it immediately gets balanced at that point. Okay, if I am doing a negative deed, they will look at my negative deed with respect to whatever is my past life karmic cycles, and it will get balanced out at that point itself. So yes, the action, the thoughts, whatever we are taking today, if we are doing it with an intention of highest good of all, or with the intention of, simply like you said, financial issues. When we have financial issues, it is either us or our ancestors who has at some point abused financial power or wealth, right? So if we want to create a good wealth, a good corpus for ourselves, but we are unable to do because that's a blockage coming from the past life. So if we access the records, we find out what is it that is blocking us, whether it is us or our ancestors, and we work on it, we can actually complete that karmic cycle. We can actually clear that karmic cycle, remove that blockage, so that we can work towards making the corpus that we want.
So it is just like, I'll call it like investing in SIP. If I'm regularly, systematically, if I'm doing a proper investment in terms of my karma, so down the line, it will benefit me in multiple ways.
Yes.
So how exactly a person, suppose if someone is facing, say, I'll call, say, for example, a newborn child, साल 2 साल का 3 साल का बच्चा, and if he is suffering from, say, a deadly disease like a blood cancer, now where does the Akashic record exactly play the role in such cases? क्योंकि वो बच्चे ने तो दुनिया देखी नहीं है, तो where does it play a role?
All right. So first we have to understand that everything that we do is what we have chosen in this lifetime. So like I said before, that before taking birth, we look at the unfinished work in our records and we create the soul plan and soul journey for this lifetime. So that child who is 3 years, 4 years old, who's not even seen life, who's probably not even learned to walk because of his illness, has already come knowing that he's going to suffer this. What happens is that we create, so we can think about it like when we buy a new house, we have a blueprint, right? And we decide that the kitchen is going to be here and I'm going to do it up this way, and the bedroom is going to be here and I'm going to do it up this way. But the interesting part is that after buying the house and the first time we step into that house, we forget the blueprint. Okay, everything we forget, but we know that we've got to do that. We know that we've got to do that, and we have to, and we start picking out things like, if it's your house, and we start picking out the tiles and the marble and the colors and the artifacts and everything. If what we are picking out is aligned to the blueprint, right, then our karma is getting balanced. So when we are talking about a child who is 3 or 4 years old, there could be multiple reasons why he's chosen that. One, there could be a reason why he or she has chosen that is because in some lifetime, the parents could have given this kind of, trauma to some other child. And their parents could have gone through that trauma in that lifetime. So in this lifetime, the child has come back and the parents have to go through the trauma to balance out what they gave to others, right? It is possible that the child, he himself or herself could have given a very bad, at some point in their soul journey, could have given a very bad illness to someone. So they've come in this lifetime to suffer, so that we can so that it can complete that karmic cycle. It can feel the trauma it gave to someone else, so that it can complete that karmic cycle.
So does it mean that we choose to sign a contract before coming on the earth? Because when I do past life regression, like I do past life regression, so when we say past life regression or when we say Akashic records, does Akashic record also believe in something called as soul contract?
Yes, everything is a contract. You helping me at this point is also a contract we made before taking birth, that at some point in our life journey on earth at this time, you will step in and help me. And there'll be times when I will step in and help you. And there'll be times when we will not be in contact at all for years. And suddenly we'll come in contact because our contract has got activated and we've got to help each other. So even the auto guy who comes and tells you no is completing some past life contract where you told no to help someone.
Okay. So whatever we see, whatever we feel, whatever we experience is a part of our journey, maybe 10 lives before, 20 lives before, or maybe even in this life, if I have done something, in 15, 20 days, I'll have to pay it off, one or the other.
Yes. Yes.
So the contract is
Everything.
always like, then can I say that we are renewing our contract daily, or we are updating our contract daily based on our karmas?
Yes.
So
So everything that we are doing, with every thought also, we are actually either decreasing our karmic debt and increasing our karmic investment, or decreasing our karmic investment and increasing our karmic debt.
right. So suppose if someone comes to you, because we have many audience here, and of course later on also people will be connecting you through YouTube and other things. So suppose if someone comes for an health issue, say someone is at say middle age, say 35, 40, and he or she is going through a major health issue, say a dreadful disease like cancer. Medicines are going on, everything is going on. Along with the existing medicines, because of course I treat this as an alternative way of healing. We can't bypass the medicines. So along with the medicines, how exactly can Akashic Records, or assessing these Akashic Records, how can you help a person who is having some major health issue? You as a person, you as a therapist, how can you help him or her if someone is having a say issue like blood cancer? तो
Okay,
आपका उसमें क्या
instead of
रोल होगा? हाँ,
okay,
any health
instead of
issue,
cancer,
any
can
disease.
I give you an example or from a reading that I did for a client?
Yeah,
That would
absolutely,
work, right?
absolutely. Of course, without naming
So
the client, go ahead.
once a client came to me, and she just wanted answers to something else, completely very different. But as soon as I started the reading, I started getting back pain. So I asked her, "Do you have back pain?" So she said, "Yes, I have this back pain since a year, and I have tried everything. It's like more than probably 2-3 years, but she said, I've tried everything from homeopathy, naturopathy, physiotherapy. I've tried everything." So I told her that okay, fine, let's find, if they're showing me the back pain, let's find out why is it happening to you. What is your connection to the back pain? What is your contract with the back pain? And when I further asked and got information from the records, it was some past life connection, something to do with her past life. And I told her whatever it was, and she was like, "Yes, sometimes I do feel like this. Whatever you are telling me, sometimes I do feel like this." And only bringing that information to her awareness, in 1 month, her medication stopped, and the back pain never came back. Her medication stopped and after 1 month, she was also PLR therapist like you. And after 1 month, she actually came back and she said, "I want to learn this." Because it was only the thought, whatever information, because our body, our cell bodies, every cell in our body also remembers our past life trauma. So when a karmic cycle gets activated, whatever is the memory in the cells, that also get activated. And according to that memory, the body cells will either feel euphoric or it will give you pain. Either it will give you. So what happens is, just by bringing it to the consciousness, and whatever was the recommended remedies that were given from the records, whatever was recommended guidance from the records, she started doing that. Within 1 month, her pain vanished. She learned, and till date, her pain has not come back.
Okay. So, as you mentioned rightly, that being aware and being conscious about our karma or whatever things are happening, we can try to reverse the things which are happening in our life if we consciously put efforts.
Yes. You see, we Indians, we have this very hyperbole which says, "Karma hai, kya kare," but learning Akashic Records, and that is one of the best things I like about Akashic Records, is that sufferance is a choice. We can keep suffering saying karma hai, karma hai, karma hai. Sufferance is a choice. But if we find out what is that karma, if we work on that, and I will not lie, all the paths are not easy. Everything is not easy. Sometimes it takes a lot to balance out a karmic cycle. But if we are resilient enough, and we, complete that karmic cycle and we move on. The rewards, not only are we just completing the karmic cycle, but the efforts, the resilience, our intention, our good thoughts, everything is observed by the universe, and somewhere or the other, we are rewarded beyond our dreams. We not only remove our sufferance, but we are also rewarded beyond our dreams. Like we always say, universe knows better for us. So it gives us what is even unimaginably different than what we have, what we think we want.
So can it be considered as also as a regression therapy?
Pardon?
Can this regression therapy, like the way we say past life regression, a therapy
No.
where you can release the certain things or you can reverse certain things, the way we do in PLR, that we go into past life, then we erase that particular pattern, or we imprint a new, we take a pattern from past life and get it imprinted in this life. And we can reverse many things in this life. So in Akashic, is it a regression therapy, or can it be used as a therapy, or can it be used as a healing modality?
See, it is neither a healing modality nor is it a therapy. It is a information system. It's a empowerment tool. It gives you information. It gives you guidance on what to do to complete that karmic cycle, on how to work, what can you do, what are the various ways you can balance out that karmic cycle, clear that karmic cycle. But therapy happens as we walk the guidance, we walk the path that is shown by the records. And so many times when they tell us certain guidances, they tell us that maybe you need to go and get your bars run, because that's a very good way of getting a lot of belief systems cleared in a quick way. Or they need to go learn Reiki for themselves, so that when they keep their chakra aligned, they are able to walk the path easily. So all the other modalities are more like a helping tool that will help you to walk your path.
So in this case, as you mentioned that yes, it is one of the way where person can enable himself or herself to see a different life. We will not call it as a therapy, we will not call it as anything, but it's more of an information system, which the way in the recent modern times we call it as a cloud server, where all the information is stored and we access that information.
It is your life's Google. It is literally your life's Google. In day-to-day basis, you can ask, very simply, you can ask, give me a message for today. Or what is it that I need to be careful of today? Okay. And you can ask something as simple as that. What do I need? Is there any warning for today? What is it? And the answers are so beautifully simple. They will just say that, so I'll give you an example. I was told, I recently went for a trip to Ladakh, and I was literally told, then I accessed my records and I asked, why am I going to Ladakh? What is my karma with their place I'm going? And what advice do you have for me, to make it a good trip? And I was literally told, while you are on the road, do not talk. When I did not talk for those 7 days, I was so much in touch with nature. I realized that there were so many beautiful portals out there which were untapped. It was not a holiday for me. It was a complete spiritual retreat for me. But their simple one advice, do not talk when on road, completely changed everything. So when what they ask us to do looks very simple, but we have to take the leap of faith. And when we do that, I told you, the rewards are completely different.
So now I have a question, as you have taken up this point. How different, or when we say Akashic Records is helping us for the past, can I also access my things for future? Based on that, can I, like, suppose if my past is already mentioned in Akashic, so definitely there must be some record for my upcoming future also. So if something is already laid ahead of me, suppose if, say, after 3 years, suppose if someone is going to face a health issue based on the Akashic records, because the person has signed a soul contract that yes, this can happen and I'm okay to bear through all these pains. So now based on that records, can I change my karma? to work out on that future thing which is going to happen. Because when records are there, I have signed a soul contract that at this age this will happen, this age this will happen. So suppose if I say ki at age of 44, say someone is going to have an accident, suppose as per astrology, as per numerology, or whatever way. So even in Akashic Records, does it signify that yes, हाँ, इस साल शायद कुछ हो सकता है? And can we revert on it? It's a very, of course, this is also a question from one of our participants who has sent me a direct message. And even I had that curious question. Is there something in future also which we can access?
Okay. So if we are supposed to take the example of the baby who's 4 years old and who's got cancer, right? Every action that we do has certain repercussions, right? And what is karma? Karma is experiencing both sides of the coin, the good side and the bad side, right? So if I have given the bad side to someone, I've got to experience it. If I've given the good side to someone, I've got to experience it, right? Now, the mystery is that we have forgotten what all we have chosen in the soul path. Plus, we don't know when it will get activated, right? So, yes, the past, present, future is all stored in the Akashic Records, but our actions today decide whether I will experience something or not. So, let me give you a practical example. Diabetes is a hereditary issue, both sides, my mother's side as well as my father's side, right? So now, according to medical science, diabetes should be there, right? Okay. So when I learned Akashic Records, the first thing I asked is it hereditary for me? Have I chosen it as part of experiencing it in this lifetime? And what can I do to complete that karmic cycle? Now, the only answer that I got was that you need to drink a lot of water. Okay, that means that right now that karmic cycle is not activated. But you need to drink a lot of water means that you need to keep yourself purified, or you could activate it by your choices today. So after that, I became more conscious. I became more conscious of what I put into my mouth, and I have a huge sweet tooth. So I do eat, but I am more conscious. Plus, every now and then I will go back and I will ask that, do I have this? Have I activated it? Is it there? Is it part of my karmic cycle? But yes, I'm even conscious of what I'm eating. I've cut down a lot of sugar compared to what I was having 4-5 years back. So I am also taking actions which are aligning me to keep me away from something that I'm dreading could be part of my ancestral lineage. Right. So our actions today can definitely determine the outcome, but the records can also help us to understand if we have brought it with us and whether it is currently activated or not.
Okay, so I got your answer, and what it means is that suppose even if it is already pre-recorded in our life that we have signed a soul contract, still we can always make the contract null and void based on our karmas, and we can replenish that contract and make our present life easier, right? That's what I understood from you. Because there was a question from someone, if everything is already on the record, then what are we doing here? A direct question था मेरे लिए. So what I understand from this is, as I said, that if something is already signed up, then I can always make that contract null and void based on my karmic deeds which I am doing, and I can create a better future for myself.
This is a beautiful question because this brings us to free will. Okay, free will, we have made contracts. We have created. We have come with a whole baggage of contracts, right? But it is my free will. So I may go take guidance from the records, but I use my free will to to crumple all the guidance and put it into waste paper basket and continue eating like I am doing, or understand the metaphor behind drink a lot of water means you don't have it right now, but keep your body purified. Just because you don't have it does not mean I cannot create a new karmic cycle and invite it in my life, right? So basically, it is my free will that decides. It is my free will that decides whether I want to fulfill this contract in this lifetime or not. And if I am willing to fulfill it, how much am I willing to suffer under that contract? Sometimes you suffer so much that you may just complete only 30% of what you come, and then you say, I can't take this more, and you just quit it. You quit it. So that 70% gets carried over to your next lifetime.
Okay. One quick question. As you mentioned the word quit, it just came probably from the universe. When someone commits a suicide, is it also part of his Akashic records?
No, that is the person has used their free will. So our body is a gift to us by the source, by the universe, by God. And our first and the foremost responsibility is always towards our body.
Okay.
If you see any religion, any spirituality, everybody will say, eat right, think right, drink right. Nobody is going to tell you to have toxic toxic substances. Correct? Everybody preaches to eat right, drink right. Because if our body is there, our body is the vehicle that helps us to complete the karmic cycles. Now, if you commit suicide, means you have abused the gift given to you by the universe. So when you have abused the gift given to you by the universe, what happens is that your if we think about every lifetime as a game, correct, every lifetime as a level, means that you are going to start you're going to go back to zero, but your difficulty level is going to become 1,000 times more, and your resources are going to be depleted 1,000 times in negative.
Okay, so if someone approaches you from the present audience, or even say when after watching the recording, which we'll be putting up online, does only one session help a person to get the answers, or multiple sessions are required? And
No, one session is
how
enough.
frequently should the person come to you for accessing the record? Is it like the way people do yearly readings in numerology or astrology? Do you also suggest an yearly Akashic records, or you suggest them for like next 5 years, 10 years? What exactly is it?
No, so when you come for a Akashic record reading, what happens is that you get enough guidance and enough work. There's a lot of emphasis on self work in Akashic records, because you have created the karma by certain actions. So now you've got to take an action to balance out that karma. So you get enough work for 6 months. So after 6 months, you can come back and ask whether you've completed the karmic cycle, see, once you know you've completed the karmic cycle, if that issue stops recurring, if that pattern breaks, or your life comes into more ease, okay, right? But if your life is not come into more ease, or something else has started, I would suggest to wait. I suggest my clients to wait till 6 months between readings, unless it is a new issue, new questions, a whole different set of questions. And yet I will always ask the person, how much work have you finished from your previous reading? Because if you have not worked on yourself, you are still sitting on the same crossroad. So how many ever readings you will get, you will keep seeing the same scenery. You will keep going around the same turnaround, because you've not worked on yourself. You've not chosen the path or the guidance that is given to you. So one reading is enough for 6 months, ideally.
Okay. So when you say that one reading is enough and things can be worked out, so if someone wants to connect with you, can they directly Google about you and they get connected through?
Yes, I have my website, which is called Pratisamand, www.pratisamand.com. You can also search me out on Instagram at mansi.dharia. So from there, my number is also there, my website is also there, and you can connect to me through all various platforms given on my website. My WhatsApp number is connected to the website, so you can even connect to me from there.
Okay, so overall, I can say that Akashic records can be useful for making a life beautiful. From wherever we are today, we can actually create a difference in our life.
Yes, definitely. I have seen miracles happen in my own life, and I really don't take to teaching very easily. But this is one thing I would recommend everybody to at least get a reading done, if not learn, because it is a tool. It helps me so much on my day-to-day basis, whether it is to search for a house or to understand that why suddenly a relation, somebody talking to me nicely has ghosted me, which is such a common phenomena nowadays. Why am I choosing narcissistic behavior or gaslighting behavior in my life? Or why am I choosing certain, uh, you know, a lot of discomfort or unease in different situations in my life? And, just accessing the records, and I understand so many smaller nuances of my life which may not always be connected to past life. Maybe it is some belief system I need to break. Maybe it is something that I need to experience. And after experiencing, I will complete that karmic cycle. Sometimes we do not want to experience discomfort or unhappy situations. And now I am willingly going into unhappy situations because I know that I will go through pain. I will go through, a lot of discomfort, a lot of unease. But I know that at the end of that tunnel, I'm going to complete this karmic cycle that has been firing on lifetime after lifetime. So I am okay to go through that small period of unease and work on myself to complete that karmic cycle so that I don't experience it ever again in my soul's journey. Not just this lifetime, but any other lifetime.
A small question. As we all believe that yes, Lord Shiva, Mahakal, the eternity, tomorrow is Mahashivratri. What is that message or an advice you would love to give our audience specifically for tomorrow for Mahashivratri? Because Mahashivratri is all about Mahakal connecting to a higher consciousness and creating a difference. So for tomorrow, what is the special advice which you would give for all of us to make our life better? Because you have been accessing so many records. So for tomorrow, for Mahashivratri, what is your advice for all of us?
So, what is coming to me, I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
Meditate. I know it is not possible like our ancestors to stay awake the whole night, but at least please meditate. Meditate and go to sleep. Tomorrow is a very, very powerful day for spiritual enlightenment, spiritual growth. You can actually, if you are doing a lot of sadhanas, you can actually get a lot of siddhis tomorrow. So if you can't go to a temple, or you are not like me, you don't like crowds, and you can't go to a temple, or you are unable to go because of your commitments, at least sit and meditate, connect to your higher soul, listen to what messages have come, write them down, and connect with Lord Shiva. If nothing else, find a small sacred space in your house and follow whatever rituals your grandparents used to do. And if nothing else, just chanting Om Namah Shivaya tomorrow after sunset will just do you wonders. Just be present, completely 100% present when you're chanting it for one mala or 108 times, and you will see so many messages flowing. You will feel connected to the energies of Shiva.
So with this, if anyone, already we have taken questions from audience, which I was asking. So if anyone still has a question, either you can message us directly or you can directly contact her on through the website. But yes, it was an amazing insight today we got through Mansi for our Akashic Records. And I really wish that tomorrow Lord Shiva helps us to clear our maximum past pending bad Akashic Records to create a better future for all of us. And with this, I'm thankful to Mansi and every one of you who attended the session today. A big thanks to everyone, Mansi. A big thanks. You made our evening very special. Thank you. And any audience who wants to connect with her, she has already given her website's name. You can connect with her. This video will be uploaded on YouTube. This video will be uploaded on Facebook. So it will be always available. It will be always online.
Thank you, Vivek. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and helping me overcome the block, which you know. So thank you so much for your kind words, and thank you everybody to come and listen to whatever little knowledge I have about the records and whatever little light I could spread through my humble working with the records. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mansi.
Thank
Be
you.
blessed always. Thank you.